Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com, your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly, tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, a rare review of a ladies' watch. Or is it? The diamonds and the font suggest ladies' timepiece. So too does the bright red strap. But I owned this exact watch without the diamonds. This is an odd duck and a beautiful one. The heart and soul of Jaeger-LeCoultre. This is the Master Ultra Thin 34mm in stainless steel with diamond set bezel. The timepiece is 34 in diameter. It is exactly 6mm thick. And from lug tip to lug tip, 40mm on the nose with a 17mm spacing between the lugs. So on my wrist, this is a familiar watch. Let's not forget that in the middle of the 20th century, watches of exactly this size and smaller were offered by JLC, AP, Patek, and Vacheron to great acclaim. It was the epitome of elegance and understatement to wear a small, fine watch. And I could recommend this watch for a wrist of any size. Even a child could wear it well. I loved my old Master Ultra Thin 34, and it fits underneath any cuff ever made. It sits lower than the hair on my wrist. Taking a quick look at the strap, this is one of your only overt clues that the model was targeted toward women, as the bright red color isn't maybe the masculine choice, although I would happily wear it. It's exciting, it's glossy, it's gleaming, it's vivacious, and it gives this smaller watch an outsized personality. We have a large rectangular scale, a high gloss finish, a monotone stitch, a sheer cut edge, calfskin on the bottom, and you can see it is a brand new JLC factory strap. JLC also isn't shorting you the clasp. Mine also had a deployant clasp, and today, as of 2022, if you buy a JLC watch this simple in steel, you're probably getting a pin buckle. There was a time when JLC aspired to the level of the Vacherons, the Pateks, and the APs of the world, and they equipped their watch accordingly. A folding clasp makes it harder to drop your watch. Okay, the diamonds. Obviously, diamonds have feminine associations, and JLC really plays it up with this strap and this dial font, but there is nothing inherently feminine about the watch. It's gorgeous, a little bit thicker than its solid caseback forebears. All of that is due to the sapphire on the reverse side. Solid caseback versions of this watch were around 5mm thick. The lugs are beautifully spare, graceful, and the compound curvature lends them an almost biomorphic aesthetic. Everything is of high polish, but in good taste because there's so little metal visible. You could see that the watch is so thin that the caseback is shrink wrapped around the stem tube assembly. We have a JL branded crown, and on the reverse side you can see the unconventional assembly of this case with 4 screws on the reverse side that actually thread into the top. They thread straight through to clench the bezel to the case in a sandwich-like fashion, creating a seal sufficient that JLC could rate this watch at 50 meters, not the ultra-thin dress watch standard of 10 to 20 or the regular dress watch standard of 30. This is 50. You can also see that the watch includes caliber 849, which is based on an old Bausch that JLC originally designed for Vacheron and AP in the early 50s. AP phased in its caliber 2003 in 1953. Vacheron phased in its caliber 1003 in 1955. This watch has descended from those. That original movement was 1.65mm thick to the point of fragility. This one is 1.85 and just over 20mm in diameter. 1.85mm means this movement is so thin and fine that when it goes back for service in Le Sentier, the watchmakers who typically work on high complications, that is minute repeaters, tourbillon, horlogerie, they're the ones who service these movements. Also, it has some technical upgrades versus something like a Vacheron 1003. So this watch, being a little bit thicker, also can incorporate a larger mainspring. So here we have a 35-hour power reserve rather than the VC and the AP versions, which are 31. This beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour. It has since 1994, when this caliber 849 replaced the previous 839. And remember, the AP and the Vacheron versions beat at 18K. This is 21.6. It's a 19-jewel movement with a very traditional center wheel architecture. So you could see that power goes in through the crown. We have a crown wheel, we have a ratchet wheel, we have a click spring, a center wheel, third wheel, fourth wheel, and then escape wheel, straight down to the balance, which is almost the radius of the movement, again, in pocket watch fashion. This watch features a judicious combination of manual and machine finishing. So a lot of this is handcrafted, and we have beautiful fire-blued screws, and you can see no compromise. The watch goes through the Master 1000 hours control, same as the larger and thicker sports watches. So 1000 hours of testing is a fully cased-up watch, including chronometry, water resistance, durability, and power reserve. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for this little beauty, and take note of the high quality of the dial. While we do have this lacquered set of quad Arabic numerals, see the faceting of the Dauphine hands, which are half frosted for higher contrast, the sunburst grain of the dial, and the use of applique faceted individual hour indices rather than printed features. This watch, again, is a little gem, and it's set with gems. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for pricing.